our kids see us accomplishing stuff all the time. And so then they feel like they have to try to accomplish things. And then we have to really put a lot of energy in to remind our kids that, like, we love you no matter if you got an A on your test or not. Like,
Right.
we love you whether you actually won that game or not. Now we want we're more concerned about them just putting the right effort in than the end result.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are part 2 of talking through creating possibility for next year, thinking through what we want for next year as we wrap up December right now. And Jackie's had some time to think about it, so she's going to give us a very specific, detailed answer this time. So, honey, what would you like your biggest triumph to be this next year?
Wow, you're like a dog on a bone.
I'm waiting. I know you talked about mine and, everybody else's, but what about yours?
Well, one of my goals this year is definitely to get stronger in the strength area in my health journey. Personally, I really enjoy doing lots of cardio. It's something that I've enjoyed for a very long time, whether it's running or hiking or bicycling, whatever it might be. It's always something cardio. It's my go-to, and I feel super comfortable in that area. But when it comes to more of a strength training, it's an area that I haven't been diligent in, number one, and I haven't been confident all the time. And I would go through phases for the last however many years, but I've realized now that it's time to focus in on some real strength, whether it's in my back or my, abs or shoulders or legs, whatever it may be. So setting up a real goal of what that looks like right now, to not only learn real functional strength for myself, but ones that will actually help me every single day. Because I definitely am one of those people that enjoy living a healthy way of living, eating certain things have never been a challenge for me, or taking things out of my eating habits or whatever the case may be is not a big deal to me. It's not hard for me to change up certain things, quote unquote diets. I'm not a big fan of diets, but just eating healthier, I should say, has never been a problem for me. I actually enjoy eating healthy. Really, for me, it's been a lacking in the functional strength areas. And so I have a great game plan that I'm starting, and I'm excited. Who's
your personal trainer going to be?
Oh, he's amazing. He's good looking and smart. Kind of lippy, to be honest with you. It's not my favorite part of him, but
that's not true.
Semi good sense of humor. His jokes are a little
semi good sense of humor.
His jokes are a little off, but they're clean, so I just kind of deal with it. But
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, he goes by the name of GP. Yeah, I don't know if you know him, so it doesn't really matter.
Now I'm excited though, because kind of like with me, I can allow just, whatever busyness and laziness and just lack of desire to be the reason that I don't eat as healthy as I should. But then I really kind of will do my functional strength stuff and, keep myself playing basketball. And, it's actually, even being a little overweight right now, it's amazing how I can still move really well and still compete at most things because I do those things. Now, on your end, you're kind of a little bit the opposite. You're so disciplined and good about eating, right? You'd never overeat. You always leave stuff on your plate. I usually end up finishing it because that doesn't look right to me. They're supposed to.
Only if you like what I picked. I picked too healthy of stuff, and you're like, who eats that stuff? I'm like,
Yeah,
you're putting down what I eat.
Throw it out.
Now you're.
I don't think rabbits would eat that. But anyways, you, on the other hand, though, will tend to work out sometimes with not with cardio, because you're like a machine with that, but but like the strength stuff,
Right.
you'll tend to kind of avoid,
Right.
some of those functional strength moves just because you haven't done them much. And
Right.
so they're really uncomfortable when you first start. And so this year, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we help you get functionally stronger.
Right. Because it's actually been there when I've done it incorrectly that I hurt myself. And maybe, again, this is something that somebody can relate to out there. It's almost like one of those uncomfortable things that instead of whatever, either coming and work out with you or hiring a trainer or just, whatever the case may be, I just have put it aside for so long. And then like I attempt to do it and it's like, I'm like trying to go to the chiropractor an hour later because everything's out of place because I just, did it incorrectly. So
Yeah.
it's time to learn it and do it right. And I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that's one of my biggest goals this year is to kind of get stronger in the strength area. And make sure that I'm doing things that are really going to help my body long term stay strong.
Yeah, on top of that, just with us and our season and the longevity we want in our life for generations of our kids and what we want to be able to see and do in the future, we want to be healthy and we want to be issue free of any kind of sort. And one of the things that fights off any kind of disease, et cetera, from all the studies I've heard is being muscular, like actually having muscle. It really makes your body, fight off all the stuff that we don't want anyways. And there's more of it than ever to fight off, with the types of food that's put out there, the pesticides and everything. Everybody knows about this stuff, but, so it's good. So you and I both got to stay strong. So we're going to be big and buff and strong this year.
Whoa.
Okay, maybe not big, but buff and strong, right?
I'm not looking to get big, hon.
Okay, got it.
I'll leave the bigness to you.
All right, next question. What advice would you like to give yourself this year? For me, I would say I'm going to give myself the advice of this year, embrace discipline with joy. In other words, like I know I got to create a few new levels of discipline just because how busy our schedule is going to be this year. I mean, you and I sat in here during the break and we spent, literally a couple hours, a couple different days just mapping out the big things on our calendar. If y'all could see our year, we have a 12-month calendar on my wall, a whiteboard kind of a calendar. If you saw what our calendar looked like for next year, it's like every day is pretty much full. And then, in the morning and early afternoon, and then starting about 3:00, what are we doing every day pretty much, hon?
Yeah, sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Which is fun. We're going to embrace it. I'm going to do a little coaching and we're going to be there for all of it. But, we got all these littles that are in a bunch of different stuff. And it's a blessing, actually, because it's fun. It's fun for us, too, but it's a lot. And so we got to, make sure that as we're disciplining ourselves, whether it's, getting to bed early enough or, like I said, the whole working out thing or the eating right thing, just doing it with a great attitude. Like, that's my advice to myself. It's like, don't see it as a burden at all. Just like embrace it. There's a bazillion people out there who would love to be in the shoes we're in with the health that we have, that would never complain if they could just discipline themselves with the joy that we can, right? So I'm just going to have that mindset this year. How about you?
I think for me, it's probably give myself grace. I'm really hard on myself on just about everything. And so, especially if I don't know how to do something and I start learning it, I can get really hard on myself if I don't do it right or don't do it
Why do you
perfect.
think you're so hard on yourself?
I think it's just one of those things that it's like I feel like it's like a perfectionist thing that I work through. You know what I mean?
How do you think you got there? What do you think?
I don't know. Dr.
I asked
GP,
the question because I just feel like so many people deal with it today.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people do. Not everybody talks about it, but I think more people really are quietly beating themselves up and are doing so many great things, but they have a hard time celebrating any of it because of the two things they didn't get great or didn't do.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are and how it gets there. Maybe not just for you, but just for people in general.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I think back to it, I think it starts when you're young and you're trying to do everything right so you get like recognized in school right, or that you get recognized maybe at home right, or you get recognized by your friends or peers or people you respect, as you get older. You get recognized that you're chosen, as, whatever that may be, hardest worker or performed the best or was, the most, intelligent, whatever the case may be. I don't know, fill in the blank of whatever it is. And maybe through the years, you probably don't remember when you were working at your best, because every time you accomplished that one thing, then it went up higher and higher. Like the stakes got higher.
Yeah.
To have to perform at a different level than you already are performing at, to be able to accomplish and get I think it's like respect. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really like, I'm not one of those people that like, I need a bunch of accolades. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not the first one to be like, put me on stage, I'm up first, you know?
Yep.
I'm just one of those ones that's just like, I want to do a good job to be respected by those that I respect. Mm-hmm. And so I think I've always been that way. And so once that happens, it just keeps flowing. And then you get to areas of your life that you don't even appreciate the kind of work that you have done for things, because maybe it wasn't at the level that you thought you shoulda, woulda, coulda. And you start doubting.
Or what happens when there's nobody there to notice when you do things well anymore?
Which is a good thing, actually. You know what I mean? Instead of worrying about somebody needing to see it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good place to be. Like I say to myself all the time, I'm only performing for one person, and that's God. You know what I mean? But when you start performing for anybody else, that's when you get off track, And so it really matters what he thinks, and he knows, whether you, quote unquote, in your opinion, did your best, or if you physically or mentally really did or not, And so, yeah, I think it's like a lot of that. So when I don't know how to do certain things and it's all new to me, and I'm not like already like in the system figuring out how it works, I can tend to beat myself up if it doesn't look like I did well, or that I've been doing it for like 20 years. So for instance, working out in a new way is going to look a little clunky. It's not going to look like it's not like I'm getting on the treadmill and running 6 miles. You know what I mean? And like just absently going through it. But what it is, it's like new and clunky. And so I can judge myself that because maybe I didn't get as many reps in, or I didn't do the weight, or I didn't do it as well, or I don't look like I know what I'm doing because I just started, that I wouldn't give myself enough grace to know it's going to come. I would want to, in the past, beat myself up for it. So,
right.
Yeah.
So this year, the advice is focus on progress, not perfection.
Yeah, I'm hoping my coach will help remind me of that. And that
sounds like he's pretty amazing. So most likely,
I mean, I'm sure you'd like him, but
funny,
like
smart, good looking, all the things you said.
Semi funny. Semi funny.
That's good enough for me. I'll take that.
And but I think that hopefully my coach will remind me of this all, and maybe re-listen to our podcast once in a while before we get together.
I think your coach reminds you of this more than you realize. Probably. It's good though. I think it's important for all the parents out there. I know we're kind of spending some time on this, but these are the kind of things where I feel like they're operating within us and with our kids.
Yeah. And
they're just happening, and then it creates all this kind of weirdness, or then all of a sudden you start having kids who don't really want to pursue goals. And then you find out it's not because they're not high achievers. It's because they're so worried about doing it perfectly that it's almost easier not to start.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous place to be, I think, because then you never realize what you're capable of. And so, we've had this balance because our kids see us accomplishing stuff all the time. And so then they feel like they have to try to accomplish things. And then we have to really put a lot of energy in to remind our kids that, like, we love you no matter if you got an A on your test or not. Like,
right.
We love you whether you actually won that game or not. Now we want we're more concerned about them just putting the right effort in than the end result.
Yeah, we just want them to win, like, in what they're doing, not necessarily winning the game. Or like, we want them to win in the mindset of trying their best and like actually accomplishing their best, whether or not they did that well on on that sport event that day.
It's one of our philosophies we go back to, right? I mean, your best is enough, but your best is required.
Right.
And that's not that when we say it's required, what we're saying is, like, if you really want to fully enjoy this, if you really want to be proud of yourself, if you really want to like have the most like fun doing whatever it is you're doing, give it your best. Because if you give it your best, you got no regrets. There's nothing worse than when you didn't, and then you always regret. You always have the what if conversation then, But if you put it all out there, you left it all on the field, and then you still didn't win, or you still didn't get the A or whatever, then okay, but you gave it your best, so pat yourself on the back, and you got better, right?
It's true. Yeah. More thoughts on that. We probably can talk about that a little bit more because I think there's a lot that goes into that.
You want to unpack that one later. That would be a good one. You want to make a note of it so I can remind us both?
Yes.
I'm the organized one in the family, and you know it.
You are a lot of times in a lot of areas.
Okay.
Not in all, but in some.
Yeah,
and
some.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. It's great.
Good. Wow. All right. So I kind of threw you for a loop with this last little minute or two here.
I don't know. I'm still a little not sure where we're going with it, but I'm rolling.
We'll finish up that topic, another one,
Yeah.
Because it is a deeper one, and it's a really effective one. So, All right, I got a couple more questions for you on the next episode.
All righty.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.